has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, I told you earlier on the show we'd have potential surprises on this program today. And here it is right now for you. It's like Christmas. It's like Hanukkah. It's like Thanksgiving. It's like Easter. It's like your birthday. It's like, all of it rolled into one. Look who it is. Goldie on ice. Steve Goldstein from the Florida Panthers, the legendary play-by-play TV voice of the Stanley Cup champs. Look at him. And the founder of Goldie's Gang, the best charity of all time in America and South Florida, my dear friend, Steve Goldstein. Steve, it's great to see it. It literally made my day that we finally got you on the show. And I got to go back to all your brilliant work with Randy and all the hard work year after year of calling these games. Since I've known you, you landed that gig and you busted your ass night after night calling games. What was it like to finally win a ring? And because I remember when you won it, I reached out to you on social media. I was so happy for you two guys. First of all, your cohort he's an idiot. I love him. He's so funny. I think he's a great color guy, the best in the league. And then to see you two guys get rings, it really made me happy. More than just the Panthers winning, because I kind of like the Panthers a little. I'm a Penguin fan. But to see my two friends win a ring, it made me so happy for you.
Well, Ferrall, I mean, what an introduction. I appreciate it, man. You know, I've known you for a long time. I love you. Love your success that you're having. Appreciated you playing in my golf tournament when you were down here in South Florida helping the kids through Goldie's Gang. It was an incredible feeling. You know, I was so happy for, Vinny Viola and his family and Doug Sifu and the owners who came in when the thing was, not doing real well and put in all that time, all that effort, and all of the people that work for the team that work so hard every single day. So I was thrilled, and I was really thrilled for all of those people. And then the fans, the ones that have stuck by the team and the new fans as well, but the ones that have been there the whole time, you're just thrilled for so many different people. And then you get to know a guy like coach of the team, who's a salt of the earth guy, Paul Maurice, who was waiting 27 years to win the thing and actually in there every day, not just sitting up top like I am, calling the games, the easy job. It was an amazing feeling. And the incredible thing, Ferrall, we sit here on May 1st, and they've got such a legitimate shot to win the thing again. And in hockey, that's not supposed to happen.
So I saw my team win it back-to-back twice, and they won it 5 times. They won Game 7 in Detroit in 2009 at Joe Louis with the Flower making that great save at the end. And that doesn't happen, winning it at Joe Louis against the Red Wings after you'd lost to him the year before. So when they won, it was the greatest thing. Honestly, it was better than the birth of my children or even meeting my wife, 34C. You know her. I don't care about them as much as I do the hockey. I love them, but not on that kind of like real spiritual love affair type sexual love I have for the Penguins. But when the Panthers, they have a shot for sure to do it. And they just, last night, I mean, I think Bennett had the game-winning goal, and all of a sudden they added, TikTok, another couple, the empty netter, and they buried the Lightning 4-1. It was supposed to be this great 7-game series, and the Lightning were going to beat the Panthers, and none of that happened. And it's over again, and the Lightning are basically your bitch.
Well, those first three. So they played 4 of the last 5 years in the playoffs. Every year, the winner of that series, and they played either the first or second round. Right. Every year, the winner of the series has gone on to the Cup. One of the Florida teams has played for the Cup for 5 years in a row. So it is amazing what's going on with the game here in South Florida. I thought, Ferrall, you go back to the series in 21 and 22, the Panthers learned their lessons from Tampa Bay. And it's amazing because in those first 2 series, the Lightning won 8 out of 10 games. It was a 6-game series and a 4-game series. Now in the last two series, the last 12 months, the Panthers have won 8 out of 10 games, only been a 5-game series. I think a lot of people bought into how the Panthers were kind of playing late in the season. They didn't have Kachuk. They didn't have Ekblad. Bennett got hurt for a few games. Kulikov was hurt. They knew, this team is as good on the road as they are at home, maybe even better on the road. They knew it didn't really matter where they finished. So, for a number of reasons, with guys being out of the lineup, Panthers didn't really have the pedal to the metal the last 4 to 6 weeks. They didn't really need to, and they really couldn't with the guys that they had. They also had a schedule. They played 9 games in the last 15 days. I think a lot of people bought into that erroneously, and then all of a sudden the playoffs come. Remember, Matthew Tkachuk had never played a game with Seth Jones and Brad Marchand on his team until game one, and it all came together. Now they just look like an absolute wagon, and it's going to be tough to someone to beat them, all things being equal, 4 times in 2 weeks.
He's Marchand. I thought his pass to Lundell last night on that 2-1 goal was sickening, and it reminded me of all the times he did it in Boston, because I've always hated his ass as a Penguin fan. Like, he's the guy you want him on your team. You don't want to be playing against him. He's a rat. Right. I can't stand him, but he's perfect on that team. I even I was friends with Maurice through the years. He liked my show. I think he's you said salt of the earth. He's just the greatest. He's a really cool dude. He's got a sense of humor, and yet he still does his job like a champ. I mean, this guy's been doing this, I think, like 23 years as a head coach in the league, something like that. It's crazy. But if there's one guy that I thought that could have, like, it's Kid Gensel, who I've always loved. If he was on that team, Christ, they'd win 3 or 4 in a row. I mean, that guy was really a badass for the Lightning in that series, even though they got their ass beat. Can you imagine having that kid on that Panther team?
Gensel is a great player, and I think people look at him. He's not the biggest guy, kind of a slight frame, but you're 100% right. I think he learned a lot from Sidney Crosby in those years in Pittsburgh. He's a gamer, man. And it's funny because, Stamkos leaves Ferrall. Gensel basically takes his spot. And for the 2 years in this series, the Panthers beating the Lightning in 5 games in the first round, the only guys that did anything was Stamkos last year. He scored 5 goals. And Gensel this year. So, Jake Gensel was honestly, he was their best player. And it really may not even be close on that team. He was their best player and probably by far in the series.
So you do Dolphin stuff. You've done everything. You've done talk shows. You go on millions of shows. Do you get your rocks off the most calling hockey games? Like I did it with the Thrashers. And I was crazy, as you know, doing it. But no one ever said I sucked. I was good at doing it. I was just crazy. I drank. I partied. I didn't give an F. But do you get your rocks off doing it? Or do you still like doing all the other stuff too? Or that is your lover? Is the hockey now your lover?
It's number 2 besides being on with you, Ferrall. I mean, when I'm on with you, it's like here. Then you go to Barkov, Kachuk, Bobrovsky, Forsling, Ekblad. Then maybe you go to Tua, Tua Tagovailoa. And no, honestly, hockey is such an amazing game. You know this. And the intensity, and when you have a team that plays the way they play, it's awesome. I told you this before, Ferrall, for 20 years. I get treated amazingly well. We got our new broadcast, Script Sports, amazing. Right. So I absolutely love it, 100%.
Goldie on ice, I love you. Good luck. I know you're going to beat the Leafs' ass.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
If you're going to trade Durant, right, it means things are getting weird anyway. Teams are going to, before they go for Durant, they're going to go for Devin Booker. That's just the reality of it.
You get rid of Durant, or do you do the crazy one? Because you're so far out of the West, you get rid of Booker because D-Book will bring you far more in a return.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So I know you get bored with these stories, but it's so true. Listen, I have to tell them because it's like comparing apples and oranges with like these playoff series. So I'm on this team that's really good. All we do is win. We win chips, and no one can beat us. And we win, and whoever we play, they talk so much Shaq. All these dudes talking Shaq. They never stop, and then we beat them. It's the same thing every time. We just keep beating everyone over and over. I've never been so bored in my life that we win every game. It doesn't matter. My point is that in the regular season, it is literally about paychecks and stats to get more money. Whoever puts up numbers makes tons of money in the NBA. It's simple as that. If you put up huge numbers every night in 82 games, you will be rich. You'll be rich either way if you're in the NBA. But if you put up stats, you're going to be really rich. You make tons of money. The more you do, the more you make. So Austin Reeves is a phony. He's a guy that does 30 a night, 25, 30 a night, every night, all season long. And no one guards him. They just let him do whatever he wants. He's dunking, shooting threes, step backs. Have you ever seen it? Like, have you ever seen anything like that white boy? We call him Hillbilly Mamba. He's out there just dealing on people like he was literally Michael Jordan, right? And then I told you when the playoffs start, they are going to shut his white ass down like a water faucet. Like they literally, there's two different worlds. You go to the playoffs, all that matters is the playoffs. The regular season means nothing. They don't even try. And then, like this team I play on, we don't even try, and we win every night, blah, blah, blah. Then the playoffs come around, we get serious. As the number one seed, you win a couple games, you're in a chip, and you win the chip, you win another chip. These guys aren't letting that candy-ass Austin Reeves do jack. I said it on the show 50 times. He won't even score in this series. He averaged 9. They showed him today on social media, Mike, with pictures literally with Manute Bol's legs attached to his body. That's when you know you're candy. When they make you out to weigh 70 pounds and you look like you're starving to death in Africa. They literally, that's what they did to him. And I'm not surprised at all. He disappeared in this thing like an ex-wife. I mean, my man did nothing. You know why? And I say it all the time. People hate hearing it. He's just so white. It's just like the real men show up for the playoffs. Trust me, I'm right.
he averaged just over 20 points a game in the regular season. He only hit 20 points once in the 5 games against Minnesota. So and that was exactly 20. He had 20 points in game 3. Just a shade on. He had 16, 16, 20, 17, and 12. So he was at about 16 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 for the series. He ended up averaging.
If you score 20 a game, then give me 20 a game. When you go down to those numbers, you're off. They shut him off. He didn't matter. He didn't matter in one. Even the game he had 20, he didn't matter. They lost 4-1. It's over.
Didn't matter.
He did nothing. You know what? So if I'm running that team, now I know everyone loves him and everything else. They all love him, this white boy. And I'm telling you, they have to get tougher. And he ain't that. He's not that. You could send him anywhere and actually maybe get a draft pick or 2 out of it. I don't think he's tough enough to play and win a championship. I really don't. I think he's a really good player in the regular season. And like I said, he became non-existent.
Elsewhere last night, Rockets beat the Warriors 131-116 to force a Game 6 tomorrow night in San Francisco at the Chase. Let's just say this one got out of hand fairly early in the first quarter on TNT.
And then Thompson goes right into Curry. Good movement. Van Vliet. And it is all Houston. Rockets going to reset. Look like Jalen Green. A little bit of a grimace. Like he's in some pain in the corner. It's Brooks. Opposite side.
In this game, only 7 attempts last game, 4 of 7.
Look at Amen Thompson, his defensive instincts. Thompson to the rack. Post was there. Thompson.
Listen, I'll just save you a lot of time here today because I talk too much. That game sucked.
It sucked. They were up 27 at the half, and they never looked back. Thompson had 25 points, 6 boards, 5 steals, 3 blocks.
I'm telling you, those Thompson brothers, they're something else.
Yes. In fact, I can give you that now if you give me a moment. Here it is. Thompson twins in this playoff. 47 and 52 points, 26 and 25 rebounds, 3 steals and 4 steals, 2 blocks and 3 blocks. Almost identical numbers.
They're studs.
In their first playoff.
Now, listen, both of those dudes are better than Austin Reeves and always will be.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. No arguments there with that. But of course, when it comes to the Warriors and the Rockets, there's got to be some kind of sideshow that goes on besides just the games. And last night it was, I guess there was some photo taken of Curry's thumb. And so they found out that Curry's got a bad thumb. So then it was Dylan Brooks is trying to injure his thumb even more. And to be quite honest with you, Dylan Brooks, he didn't deny it.
Dylan, one of the Warriors broadcasters tonight said he thought you were intentionally trying to swipe down on Curry's thumb. And Kerr was asked about it and said it happens around the league, that it's allowed by the rules, so players throughout the league do that. What do you think about that?
No, I've been playing the game. If you're gonna come play the game injured or whenever you got, it's all about the game. You know, if I had an injured ankle, I would attack that ankle every single time. So, whatever they're saying on the broadcast, they can keep saying it.
This kid's such a D. He's such a D. He's just. You wonder why people hate him. But I'll tell you this much. Everybody knows, I know that Curry's got a injured thumb. He wears 10 pounds of tape on his thumb for the last 3 weeks. He literally wears a giant contraption of tape all over his thumb. It's obvious he's got a thumb problem. My son went to the game. He knows that he's got a thumb problem. It's simple. If guys know you're injured, they will take wax at your hand. If you're going to play with it, then you're going to pay for it. You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
It's so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyzed the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Garth, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
So I told you my guy rolled his ankle last night and got injured, and he tried to get up and like go back in the game like after 10 minutes, and he's like, "I'm gonna give it a try." I was like, I said, "Listen, bro, go ahead, but you can't even walk. What are you gonna do? I mean, I've already hit like 7 shots. Like, sit down. Can you order food here? Maybe get a beer. Let me finish this puppy." Like these guys playing injured. When you're injured, you're injured. I thought, I didn't think Luka did anything spectacular after he got injured last night. He was clearly banged up, but Curry's playing with it. I thought Curry and the Warriors looked awful last night. So get ready for the game at Chase, whatever it is, tomorrow night. They're going to be hard to beat at home, like we've already seen before. They're going to show up. They're not going to play that same game tomorrow night.
Here was Curry when he was asked about the same nonsense with his thumb.
What's the state of your thumb right now? Cold. There was a picture, I don't know if you've seen it online, where it looks pretty swollen. I think it was with you walking to the plane.
You got the feds on me? What are you talking about?
No, the internet is the feds at this point.
I love this league so much. I love it so much.
How is your thumb? Besides cold because you're icing?
I don't even know how to answer it. It's just something you're dealing with and you keep it moving. As long as I can play. You got to rap for a reason, but that's it.
Do you feel it's impacting your game at all?
No. No. No.
I mean, I don't know what to think. It's obvious he's got a thumb injury, and he'll have.
Yes.
Sounds to me like, when the season's over, who knows? We might have to have it operated on. It sounds like it's tore up. So whatever. He can still shoot with it. Listen, I played with a broken hand. Literally. I played with every finger broken on both hands. I mean, guys play with broken fingers all the time. Kobe Bryant used to wear slings on his fingers 5 deep. Stop.
And we'll end it with this. And there's only so much of Draymond that we can take on Coast to Coast. He didn't really want to get into the back and forth about what Brooks said. If Brooks was going to hurt Curry with his thumb whatever. He kept it short and sweet.
I see enough people cry about me, and I lose respect for those people when they cry about me, so I would not allow somebody to lose respect for me over that. It's all good.
Listen,
no comment.
there's no denying what he's able to do defensively, and it ends there. I'm not worried about him at all with the ball in his hands. That's not my problem at all. The Rockets don't have to worry about him. You know what? He'd be a guy I wouldn't guard. I'd be like, we got to worry about these dudes over here. Let him shoot all he wants. He hit a couple threes at the beginning of the game last week, and everybody got all hot and bothered. He went right back to bricking after that. So he's a defender, and he's great at it, and he's still a massive D, and I hate him.
If you think the Rockets can win both games, you can get plus 380.
No chance.
410, actually.
Zero
I don't
chance.
think so either. I think the Warriors will win. Like you've said it 100 times. I think that the Warriors will win Game 6 tomorrow night at home, finish the job. And then I believe if the Warriors win tomorrow, Game 1 Warriors in Minnesota would be Monday night. Is when they would play Game 1 of that series. And that would be in Minnie. That would actually be 6 versus 7 with Minnesota having the home court in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter
I think the Wolves will beat
where they play, because I think both teams are, at this point, they're both very capable of winning. I actually think the Timberwolves are better than the Warriors, but I think the Warriors can beat them. I think that there's going to be some really good games in that series. That's going to be a great Western semi.
I know everyone is all, they wanted this Warrior-Laker nonsense. I think this will be a better series. Warriors and Timberwolves will be a fun, long series. Will be exciting. I think that there will be a good series. So you're going to get a good one no matter what. All right. We've got to get to tonight. 2 Game 6s. The Knicks trying to finish off the Pistons in Detroit, and the Nuggets will try to finish off the Clippers in Los Angeles in Game 6. We will do those after I talk to Brady Cannon, the Las Vegas golfer, and then we'll get into tonight's game.
Whoa,
and then we got the hockey
Las
as well.
Vegas golfer.
Liv making the trip all the way out to South Korea this week. Liv's playing golf. South Korea.
You think Kim Jong... think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
It's so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum, and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyzed the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Thursday. Carver High here with you. And yes, we had golf Wednesday yesterday, but we have golf teeing off tonight as well. How about 10 o'clock East out in South Korea for Liv. Liv making the trip out there. Unbelievable. They played in Mexico City last week and then going all the way out to the Jack Nicklaus Club in South Korea. Brady Cannon is with us, of course, as always, as we get ready for that to tee off tonight. Brady, before I get to the Liv, we were just talking about, obviously, the Byron Nelson CJ Cup, whatever the hell they want to call it now, teeing off today. And it was such a tough week. The four of us were all on Jake Knapp. We all got kind of the same few guys. But it's a scary week, Brady, because, Scotty's sitting there. And I have to imagine, well, obviously none of us were going to play him at under 3-1. But you have to imagine he's been hearing everybody for the last few weeks saying now, well, Scotty hasn't won yet this year. Oh, Scotty hasn't won yet this year. Rory's been a better player. He's won a man. Scotty's got to be starting to get into his head a little bit. All right, you want to see me win? Let me take this field that I'm so much better than, and I'll just go smash them this week. And he's we got a long way to go, but he's kind of on his way to that here in his first front nine, Brady.
He's already minus money. He's now minus 150 to win the golf tournament. Can you believe that?
On Thursday.
I mean, I got Rico Hoey, right? I'm on Rico Hoey. I'm feeling pretty good. He gets out to a great start. Scotty says, hold my beer. I just shot 7 under on the front nine, pal. I kind of felt like, to your point, Mike, it was going to be that way. Scheffler is either going to lap the field or we're going to get a long bomb that wins this thing. I think you're looking at, Exhibit A or Exhibit B, one of the two.
Well, that's why I kind of gave myself a little cover underneath, Brady. I said, you know what? I'm not playing 3-1 or plus 280, but 12-1 for first round leader. I usually don't like taking the chalk for first round leader, but if Scotty's going to blow everybody away, I figured 12-1's not bad of a number. So I got a little Scotty first round.
Good for you. Good for you.
If he can, let's see if he could do this on the back nine like he did on the front nine, and we'll be feeling good. But Rico Hoey, a good selection with a nice 8 under round today. Let's get to Liv, Brady, of course, as they are going out to South Korea. This is the Jack Nicklaus course. Now, I was doing my little bit of research, and I know you have much more extensive than me that you'll tell me now, but this is the course where they have played a President's Cup here before, and I did see, I believe, 10 of the golfers on Liv played in that President's Cup at the Jack Nicklaus course. So tell us a little bit about where we're going here tonight.
Yeah, you're right. 2015, they had the President's Cup there, and I think for the most part, the guys that were involved are probably not guys that are going to be on your radar necessarily this week. Bubba Watson, maybe Dustin Johnson. I've seen some players liking him, and he's been kind of hot and cold as of late, threatening, to show up on the top of some leaderboards. Phil Mickelson. But the one guy I think that you can kind of lean on a little bit that has a real shot and has been playing great, and I believe was at that President's Cup in 2015, is Patrick Reed. And I've seen some people on him as well. I was on him for the Masters. I mean, he very well could have been in that playoff with Justin Rose and Rory as well if he doesn't 3-putt the 13th green. Played very well in Mexico City last week. So I think Reed is a factor. They also played the Korea Championship on the DP World Tour there in 2023 and 2024. And last year it was Benny On who won it. Tom Kim finished second. Now, Kim is not a real big hitter, but if you look at that leaderboard from last year, Benny On is a big hitter. Nikolai Højgaard was up there. Guido Migliozzi from the DP World Tour. There was a lot of really big hitters on that leaderboard. And that's one of the things that first jumped out at me is, boy, it seems to help to have some distance here. And we know Nicklaus tracks usually reward the guys that are good off the tee and also hit a fade. Jack loved to hit the fade, right? Second shot golf course, that's typically what we get with Nicklaus tracks. So I look for guys that were relatively big off the tee or anyway good off the tee, could hit a lot of greens in regulation, good iron play, and if they happen to hit a fade, that was a bonus. That's where I kind of started the handicap this week, Mike.
Well, let's get to it then, Brady. Tell me who you've got, and I will tell you just out of the gates because you just mentioned it. I am one of the guys. I'm taking Patrick Reed this week. I was able to get a 20-1 on him. I'm one of the few guys I actually like rooting for Patrick Reed. I know that that's not allowed because everybody hates him, but I like rooting for Patrick Reed. So when he's playing this well and I'm still getting a 20, because we've talked all these times about how chalky Liv is with Bryson and with Rom and with, I mean, it's Joaquin Neiman, Brady. Can this Neiman, by the way?
I've had Bryson twice. I've had Bryson twice the last 2 events. Gosh, this guy.
You put your PGA Championship look-ahead article out today, which I haven't gotten to look at yet, but it just brings me back to Neiman because the guy wins like every other event now on Liv. He's winning all the time.
It's true.
Can he finally play well at one of these majors? Could we see Neiman finally on a Sunday in one of the last 2 or 3 groups, like with all these other big guys? Because he hasn't done it, Brady. He just hasn't.
Well, I don't think the British Open is necessarily his cup of tea. It certainly hasn't been the Masters. I'm not so sure about the U.S. Open. I think if he's going to get one, it's going to be the PGA. You're right. That article, I just tweeted it out up at golf.com, 4 early selections, guys that I've been playing really since January, because we've got a golf course in the Quail Hollow Club, Mike, that we've seen before. We've got some history. You know, they used to play the Wells Fargo there every year going back to 2003. So we've got a kind of a jump on what this golf course, you know, who it might reward, who it might favor as far as a skill set, unlike most majors where they go to a different joint every year.
Yep, and we obviously know this will be talked about a lot for 2 weeks. Rory is so good at Quail Hollow. He's been unbelievable at that place after his Masters win. All right, tell me who you got in South Korea tonight.
All right, I started out, and you said it, the Liv, I mean, it's 50 guys. There's really only about 4 or 5 guys that are probably going to be there week in and week out, and then there's maybe a handful of guys that might actually beat them. You know, a Mark Leishman or something like that. I started out with Rahm. I think Rahm's ready to win. His finishes have been 2nd, 6th, 5th, 9th, 4th, number 1 in strokes gained total, number 1 in stroke average, number 1 in par 4 scoring, 2nd in greens and regulation. Here's what put me over the top with Rahm. He hits a big ball. He loves to hit a fade. And he has done extremely well on Nicklaus courses. The Memorial, right? The PGA Tour, Jack's Place. He won there once. He really won there twice. Remember when they pulled him off the course because he tested positive for COVID? Okay, now we play, speaking of COVID, we go to Sherwood Country Club in Southern California in 2020 because they, you know, for the Zozo, they weren't going to go overseas. They keep it here in the States. That's a Nicklaus course. Rahm finished runner-up there. So the combination of Jon Rahm, who finishes literally top 10 every week on the Live circuit and was 4th last week in Mexico. Now you put him on a Nicklaus track. I had to go there. Then I went with the Dean. You know our love for Dean Burmester. I think he's another guy outside of Joaquin and Hatton and Rahm and Bryson. He's that next tier. He can beat those guys too. And he's big off the tee. Also did very well at a Nicklaus course, the PGA Championship last year at Valhalla, where he finished 12th. And in my long bomb, number 1 on the Live circuit in driving accuracy, number 4 in driving accuracy, number 1 in greens and regulation, has 2 top 10 finishes already this season on the Live. Harold Varner III at 49-1. Took a shot with him.
I am with you on Rahm. I know I went to him last week in Mexico City, but I'm going back to him. So me and Brady both Rahm with 6-1. Cameron Smith, I think, playing a little bit better, 18-1 for him. I told you Reed at 20-1. I usually like taking a guy when they're in one of these other countries that's from there. But no South Korea team are so bad, bro. I mean, they never are involved in these Live events. How about for top 10 at 5-1? Like, I can't take the guy to win. Maybe shows up for one of these Ironhead guys and actually plays
maybe
well.
First round leader. If you
first round
that.
Leader.
Maybe that
Could be a good one as well. You see,
I
we
love
find
your
other ways to
pick.
get.
I'm glad we're on him this week.
Let's go, Brady Canada, the Swift tonight.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing for my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did games. Yeah. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The incomparable Vegas golfer, your boy, Brady Cannon, getting involved on a thirsty Thursday, talking about South Korea. I have seen it all. All right, we got NBA playoff games tonight, and they're thick. I have a feeling at some point I'll be swearing constantly and heavily.
It's very possible, as we've got a chance for either two teams to go home or a chance for two of these series, one or two of them to get to a Game 7 this weekend. We'll start in Detroit with the Knicks and the Pistons. Of course, Cade Cunningham has been out to a great playoff start. He's averaging 25-plus points, 8-plus boards, 8-plus dimes in his first 5 playoff games. Only Oscar Robertson and Luka have done that in their history, first 5 career playoff games. I saw Beasley say yesterday, too, that the Pistons have been winning without him and Hardaway hitting shots. He's right about that. But they're about to catch fire. Well, will they catch fire tonight? Pistons minus 1.5. 214.5 is the total.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm going Rogie Vachon here. I'm going Knicks. They won both games there. And the Pistons haven't won a game there in the playoffs since, like, 2008. They just, 9 straight they've lost at home? And they, they've proven they can't win there. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably burn me tonight and win, but I'm going Knicks. And I think all they need to be in this game is a good start. Because what they did in those games in Detroit was they started well. I thought that last game in the Garden, Cat was not the big bodega at all. He was not even the little bodega. And I thought that Brunson had a horrible game. We're used to Brunson going 30-plus, all right? So when he's going to go 16, you're dead in the water. So what they need tonight is all hands on deck from the jump to come out and take this thing and run with it and belly to belly. They have to be the ones controlling everything. Tempo, the lead, everything. They have to get on the boards. And I'll tell you another thing they got to do, and I know this sounds crazy. I don't know how they're going to do it. They got to keep this Mitchell Robinson from being on that foul line. Because every time he's out there, Detroit puts him on the line, he misses. He's awful. And, I mean, if it comes down to it, I can't have him on the floor in the fourth quarter. I know no one will agree with that, but Christ, can Anunoby get a rebound? He's a great defender, and Hart's a great rebounder for a 6'5" guy. Can somebody else get an effing rebound besides Mitchell Robinson, who gets fouled, and they put him at the line? He hasn't hit a free throw in 5 months. I know he's hit a couple free throws, but he misses most of them. And so a majority is all I need to know is he sucks. He is not a scorer at all. He is a shot-altering, blocking defender and rebounder. That's all he does. He does nothing. Like, he's the guy that, teams coach to beat you by going against him. Get him to the line. Let him have the ball because he can't shoot. He can't score. He can't shoot free throws. He can't do anything. They have to be smarter tonight with that guy. The other night, that guy was going to the line like 10 times. Christ, that's exactly what the Pistons wanted, and it worked.
I'm going to go with you here because I was thinking about this last night. The Knicks are up 3-2 in this series, and it feels like they haven't played like one complete game yet in the series. Like it feels like they're the better team, right? And they haven't played a cover-to-cover good game, and yet they're up 3-2. That tells me that they are a lot better overall than the Pistons are. And I think tonight's the night where they get their closest complete game on the road, and they get it done. I think the Knicks are going to win tonight, too.
I think it would also behoove them to guard, Beasley and Hardaway and not let them get free to shoot open range threes. Because if you're just going to let them chuck and not guard them, they're going to knock them down. At some point, they're going to fall. So I played in a game last night. This guy was shooting threes. We were up 15-20, and the guy started knocking down 3 bombs. We weren't guarding him. Like, Christ almighty, it's like shooting a free throw if you have a pure shooter. This kid played at Sac State. He played D1 basketball. He can shoot. You're not going to guard him? Like, guard Hardaway, guard Beasley, have a hand in their face. Don't foul them, but get up in their shot. Don't foul them, and I guarantee you the Knicks will win. But if you're just going to let them shoot open threes and let Cade Cunningham shoot like 8-foot floaters, they're in trouble.
They will be in trouble indeed. Most bet player props tonight. Hardaway under 12.5 points. Jalen Duran under 27.5 points, rebounds, assists. Bridges over 2.5 assists. Brunson over 28.5 points. They do need that tonight. They need a 30 bomb from Brunson minimum. And Hart over 10.5 points. The most bet player props.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Brunson has over 28.5 points, the Knicks will win. And I'll tell you another thing. If Hart has a triple-double, because he can easily have 11 points, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 dimes. He does it all the time. If either of those two things happen, the Knicks will win the game automatic.
I agree on all fronts there. The other game 6 tonight, of course, will happen in Los Angeles, where the Nuggets and the Clippers at the Intuit Dome. This evening, where the Clippers need to try and force a Game 7 back in Denver. I'm running out of time, so when we come back, we will talk about this one a little bit. I am interested to see if the Nuggets can get this done tonight, because they have won a game in L.A., and they beat the hell out of them in Game 5 at home. So I want to see what kind of bounce back the Clippers are going to have tonight against Denver.
Honestly, I don't know how you can give a team that talented that many points. So it almost screams to me that the game is going to get out of control like the game in Denver did. I mean, they blew them out. Yeah. I feel like this might be 6 because the Clippers are gonna beat their ass by 10 or more, and that Game 7, Denver's gonna beat the Clippers and eliminate them. As sure as I'm sitting here.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud. but I've been preparing for my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Pawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did Ames. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Carver High's under a tremendous strain with all of these pressurized games. There's a lot of stress. The Nuggets and Clippers tonight, there's stress involved for LA for sure. Los Angeles.
Yeah, they could be going home unless they get it done tonight. Harden, Kawhi, and the crew. Minus 6.5. You were mentioning it's a very big number. 6.5 for the Clippers here. 212.5 is the total.
There's no way I buy it. Do you really think they're going to blow them out tonight and force a Game 7? I think they barely win. Barely. I think they could lose.
I'm always skeptical with some of these NBA games because, unfortunately, last night, like you saw with Houston, or the Game 5 you saw with Denver, you get a lot of those. You really do get a lot of those games.
So you're feeling like the 6.5. You're laying it because you think they're going to cover, and that big number is because they're going to actually whack them.
They're going to whack them. I'm laying it down. I think they'll lose in Denver on Saturday. I think they'll lose in Denver, but I think they'll whack them tonight.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't look. I just don't see how you can give that guy he's an automatic triple-double. And Murray's, to me, is 25 at least. Gordon and Porter, to me, are 20-plus each at least. Brown, to me, is 15-plus at least. I just don't see how you can give him that many points. Even though I've been sitting here screaming that it's that big because they're going to blow him out. I just, what have they blown him out once in the series? That's it. They basically had their ass beat more than they've done the beating. Right? Isn't that about right? The Clippers had one blowout. That's it.
The Clippers killed them in Game 3, 117-83. So the Clippers won one game by a blowout. The Nuggets won the one game by a blowout in Game 5. The other three games were all razor thin. That all 2-point games.
I'm gonna go. I've already gone roguey, so I'm not going roguey. I'm just going. All these games have been close. It's too many points. I'll take the points. I want the Clippers to win because I'm a huge Claw fan, and it really stops there. I don't really care about any of the rest. I like the beard. I like the Claw a lot. I like the beard, but I understand the beard has had, playoff failings, let's just say.
Well, also, I want to get at least one Game 7 here, and I think that this is the series that's deserved it the most. I mean, the games have been so good. This series has had the most good games in it by far. I think it's fitting that we get a 7th game. I don't think the Knicks are going to give us one. I don't think the Warriors are going to give us one in the other two. So I think that this is our shot to have one Game 7 this weekend. So let's go and get it with the Clips tonight. Most bet player props for this one: Porter Jr. under 5.5 boards, Zubac under 12.5 boards. He's going to have over 12.5 boards. Joker under 9.5 assists. He'll probably have 10 assists if they're in the game. Kawhi over 4.5 assists. Harden under 5.5 boards. The most bet player props for the season.
Okay, so I'm going literally on all of those. Like, so Porter under, what does that say? 5.5 rebounds?
5.5.
All right,
Yes, boards.
I'm going over there. Zubac under, I'm going over. Joker under, I'm going over. Kawhi over, I agree with that. And then Harden under, I disagree with that. I think he'll go over. Everyone thinks that James Harden sucks. You're tripping.
Yeah, he's going to bounce back in a big way tonight. He had what? He had 11 points the last game. He's going to bounce back.
32 tonight at least.
Game. All right, so there you go. 2 Game 6s tonight. Dyson Daniels won the NBA Most Improved Player Award. Congratulations to him.
Well, at least he got something since he got shafted for the Defensive Player of the Year with all of his steals. The guy broke every record in the history of the NBA, and he gets no respect. And then they give him Most Improved Player. At least he got that, because I think he's a badass. The Great Barrier Thief, Carver High, your favorite nickname in the league.
Great nickname. Eric Spoelstra confirmed what we said here for months, that the Jimmy Butler trade had its impact on the Heat season. Kevin Love says he's not going to retire. He plans to return to the Heat next year. God bless and good luck. Amazon's put their
I got more
NBA.
than him.
Amazon is starting to finalize their NBA broadcast team for next year. Birdman, Harlan, Steve Nash, Van Gundy, Dwayne Wade, Candace Parker, Blake Griffin, and Dirk Nowitzki will all be part of their
Very exciting.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum, and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.